So, to nobody's surprise, Ubisoft is beyond finished. From Jeff Keighley, Ubisoft has halted trading of its shares and postponed its earnings call today. This may suggest that the material news about the company and its future trajectory is imminent. Basically, this company has been doing so bad that the stocks are essentially worthless and the investors are not happy. So they intentionally postponed their earnings call. So let's take a look at this graph. Oh man. 6.7 euros, down 91.5% in the last 5 years. As you see, 5 years ago, it was 82 euros and it just kept going down. And if we go to the lifetime, of course, you got the birth of Ubisoft, and they were slowly starting to gain traction with games like Ghost Recon, Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, Splinter Cell, right? And they started to increase. It had a bit of a dip here. And then in 2013, it started to rise again. I believe this was, Far Cry 3? People loved Far Cry 3, including me. High quality game. And then, of course, in 2014, you had Black Flag. And these games caused the stocks to go up tremendously. And it peaked at 102 euros. This right here was peak Ubisoft. They were the peak of the industry, providing high-quality products and games for the fans. Hence, they reaped the rewards. But what happened? Well, they started to then focus on quantity over quality. So then the product and games increasingly got worse, so people stopped buying them. And then it dropped to 84 euros in 2021. Which isn't the worst drop ever. But here comes the worst part. From 2021 to now, it just kept dropping. And it kept dropping. It did not come back. It just keeps dropping. All the way down to 6.7 euros. And keep in mind, if a stock goes beneath $1, it gets delisted from these stocks and shares. So this is not that far off. This is really bad. Now, in terms of this graph, how come this started to happen? Well, the first on the list is Star Wars Outlaws. This game was a tremendous flop. Have you ever heard of it? You probably haven't. It only peaked at 3,300 players on Steam. And let's look at how much it cost to make. Between 200 and 300 million to make. Now, if you invested into this game and you saw 3,000 players on Steam, would you be happy? No, you wouldn't. And then we go to the first quadruple A game in history, Skull and Bones. This game came out day one Steam and it peaked at 2,600 players. Also keep in mind, this game was half price day one. So day one Steam, day one half price, and they only hit 2,600 players. How much did this game cost to make? Between 650 million and 850 million. If you were an investor and you saw that 650 to 850 only achieved 2,600 players on Steam, day one, also half price, would you be happy? I wouldn't. I would be fucking livid. I would be beyond mad. This is potentially just under Concord. So, in terms of the worst games, the worst performing games ever, Concord is the top. Skull and Bones is just underneath it. Okay? And then you've got Assassin's Creed Shadows, a game that people have been coping about. As you see, 64k. Now, this is higher, for sure. Cool, right? But this still isn't enough to profit on the budget of Assassin's Creed. So this was also a failure. And people kept trying to use the argument, but the Steam numbers are higher than the previous game, Valhalla. Yeah. Because this game did not come out on Steam for, I believe, 2 or 3 years. This game came out on Epic Games. And it came out to Steam 2.9 years ago, and it still peaked at 15,600. A game that has been out for years at this point. And if we look at the players right now, 2,400 players playing a game that came out to Steam 2.9 years ago. Assassin's Creed Shadows, a game that came out this year, only has 1,400 extra players than Valhalla. This is a very good indicator that this game is performing horribly. So let's take a look at the sales. Assassin's Creed Valhalla sold 20 million copies in its lifetime, whilst Shadows is only up so far to 4.3 million copies, putting it on track to be one of the worst selling titles in the franchise. Okay, so at launch, to Valhalla, the highest in franchise history. Shadows, the second highest. Okay, a good launch. It had a good launch. The problem is everything that came after. The lifetime sales, 20 million for Valhalla, and only 4.3 to Shadows so far. It's been out for just over half a year. The player base. High player count, especially at launch for Valhalla. Shadows peaked at 3 million players, but these players were coming from Ubisoft Plus subscriptions rather than direct sales. So this game is performing way worse than the previous title. It was a colossal failure again. So far, this company over the past 5 years have lost Star Wars Outlaws, probably 100 to 200 million. Assassin's Creed Shadows, probably, again, tens of millions, if not over 100. Skull and Bones, this lost hundreds and hundreds of millions. Hence causing the stocks to drop to essentially a worthless price. And investors are not happy. Now, this company is supposedly being sold to Tencent, who might be able to bring this back by using popular IPs if they make good products. Example, if they start to bring back Splinter Cell and make good, high-quality Splinter Cell games, people will start buying them. If they make a remake to Assassin's Creed Black Flag, like a good remake, completely overhaul the combat, people will buy it. It's easy money. Like, this company has the IPs to bring this back to a good value. The problem is everybody who's working at this company currently are fucking worthless. They are worthless, incompetent, don't know what they're doing. And investors are just not happy. And here's the thing. This company fucking deserves it. This is what they've been bringing us for years. They fucking deserve to fail. God. And gentlemen, if Tencent cannot turn it around, say bye to Ubisoft, because they are finished.